Hey, welcome back. Here's the second day of Niall's stupendous superheroes, I guess, is probably something that Stan Lee would say. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out my yesterday's video, please do that. I give a little background on kind of why I'm doing this. But briefly, 11 years ago, I did these things called Doodle-A-Days that I created a little over I did it for about 100 days, and each day I would create a new superhero, and I would do a doodle that was about 2 to 3 minutes long. And now here, 11 years, almost 11 years later, I've decided to kind of redraw these heroes and expand upon their backstories and powers and abilities. So we're now on to day two. So the second hero that I did was a hero by the name of Axe Assassin. So this was the original doodle. And again, I kind of was on a kick with Jack Kirby art. And so I was kind of trying to see if I can do that. And it gave me the excuse to, do these rather quick. Again, I had about 2 to 3 minutes, and then it was back to the daily grind. So, but yeah, this was day number two. So the Axe Assassin. So we'll get a little quick preview of the new character, and then we'll get into kind of how I was drawing him. So initially, when I was kind of sketching this guy out, I was just like, you know what, let's keep him relatively similar to his original doodle that I did. But as I kind of thought about it, I was just like, I wasn't falling in love with the overall composition. And, I was trying some different poses and stuff. I was kind of exploring one of him just kind of jumping, and I was like, it looked a little kind of corny to me. I don't know. It looked a little, I don't know. Most people probably think looked cool, but I don't know. It looked a little weird to me. So, but yeah, just kind of still playing with him. I didn't have 100% of an idea of what exactly I wanted him to look like. And originally in the original doodle, I had him with horns and stuff like that. But I don't know. It just looked, for me personally, it looked a little too cliche when it came to a barbarian and stuff like that. So this particular pose, I guess, pretty far on. I didn't think I got this particular pose that far, but it I guess I was in love with it enough to take it at least this far. So, but again, kind of keeping with the original style that I had done 3 or 4 years ago, with kind of the wood etching kind of feeling, with a lot of the cross hatching. Well, they're not even cross hatching, just hatching in general. So, but again, this particular doodle was a lot more in line with kind of what the original doodle 11 years ago was. But again, I just wasn't really falling in love with it. It just, it was one of those things. I guess I liked it enough that I took it this far. But after I looked at it and stuff, I was just like, it just looks too, I don't know, kind of cliche ish. And so, excuse me. So yeah, I can't believe I took it this far. I forgot that I had went this far with it before. I was like, I mean, not that it doesn't look good, but I don't know. Even looking at it now as I'm drawing it, I'm like, I can't believe I took it this far. But yeah, once again, just trying to keep in mind the illustration aesthetics and design principles of, I've got kind of an orange warm coat. Oh, and you can see now that I decided, I was like, yep, I'm not going to pursue that. So I kind of started to design a different approach to him. And I took some inspiration. I don't know, I think I slept on it and decided, I was like, you know what? And I came back to it the next day, or, a couple, well, I don't know that I slept on it. That wouldn't make sense, because then I wouldn't have time to do one a day. But I think I stepped away for a couple hours, and I was just like, you know what? Let's do something. So while I don't know where I got it, but I just got the inspiration to kind of look at Frank Frazetta. And I remember a couple of his characters, and, ghouls or ogres. And I think one of them, from his animation, I think Fire and Ice, that guy, I think, wore like a wolf's mask kind of a thing. But I really liked kind of just the simplicity and the kind of the almost the Batman feel that this new design I did, and kind of once again connected more with the whole assassin kind of a feel, even though he really isn't an assassin, he's more of a barbarian warrior kind of a thing. But I really liked this new aesthetic that or design, character design, and so and then adding a couple more, or adding one more axe and different varieties of axes as well to help kind of fill out the name of the character in essence. So, but I think I kept a lot of the same as I kind of finish in the shading here. I think I kept the same color scheme that I did for the other one, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, just doing in the skin, and oh yeah, you can see I pull up the. But this one, obviously, I did a little more on the dark grayish, dark cool gray, rather than the warm overcoat, I guess, kind of a thing. So once again, kind of calling back to a darker kind of a assassin kind of a feel to it, but which is ironic because he's more of a warrior, not an assassin. But anywho, yeah. So, but with this particular character, I really developed him out a little more. In the original Doodle, it was just a warrior, but with him, I kind of expounded on him a little bit. And as when we get into the backstory and his powers and abilities, you'll see that I took this character a little further than just the normal warrior barbarian mindset. But yeah, so this one I liked a lot more. It just felt a little. Sometimes I've noticed with a lot of like superhero designs, especially like modern stuff now, and one of the things that I've kind of not started to love is like, especially with a lot of the Marvel movies, it's like they over design a character. There's just too much going on, too many colors, and there isn't a great place for the eye to rest and really take in the overall composition. So I liked this one a lot more. Just felt a little more simple, and you've got a nice place to kind of have the eyes rest, and a little more aesthetically pleasing than some of the other designs that you saw in the video. So, but anyway, here's kind of the finished illustration here. So we will. Let's see here. So yeah, there's the finished one. So we will get now into his backstory and powers and abilities. So the Axe Assassin, once again down in the bottom left-hand corner, is some basic information about the character. So his real name is Selric. He's about 7.2 feet tall, and he weighs nearly 400 pounds at 386 pounds. So he's a big dude. Backstory. In the age of the barbaric rule lived Selric, a wise and fearless leader of a powerful Germanic tribe. His people's strength and unity soon drew the attention of a malevolent race of alien beings who fancied themselves scientists. These invaders showed no remorse in destroying the peaceful lives Selric's tribe had built. Weary of broken treaties and hollow promises of peace, Selric took a stand, slaying one of the alien elite guards. As a trophy, he adorned himself with pieces of the guard's armor, unaware that these artifacts granted him the power of teleportation. With this newfound advantage, Selric and a band of loyal warriors launched a counterattack and wiped out the alien invaders. But one critical piece of the alien tech affixed to his belt had been damaged. The next time Selric activated it, he was hurled through time into the 21st century. Now trapped in a new world, Selric fights along other titans to preserve peace across the ages. So once again, I kind of just made him more than just a generic sword and sorcery guy. He adorned himself with these alien tech that allowed him to kind of almost fight like a nightcrawler. You know, he'd teleport, cut, teleport, cut, teleport, cut. So, you know, he was a proficient warrior, but obviously got damaged, and that piece, that damaged piece, ended up causing him to get hurled into the future, and so yeah, now he's stuck in the 21st century. So, but his powers. From a bygone age when survival depended on strength, speed, and the ability to defend oneself, Selric possessed enhanced abilities in sight, speed, strength, and endurance. When the Titan team discovered Selric, they tested his limits and found that his already heightened abilities had been further amplified by his journey through time. Selric can lift, with effort, roughly 1.5 tons, run at speeds approaching 60 miles an hour, and fight continuously for more than a day without tiring. Further testing revealed that his remarkable endurance is linked to his teleportation ability. Each time he teleports, his energy and mental clarity are completely renewed. So, once again, he can almost fight indefinitely as a result of his, ability to teleport, and that renewal that he gets every time he shifts through space and time. So, but as you can see, he's a relatively tough guy. I mean, able to lift, a couple thousand pounds. His durability is, normal. Stamina is on the higher part, and then obviously his speed. Not only can he run 60 miles an hour, but also with the ability to teleport, he can move pretty quickly. So his power projection and intelligence are nothing to speak of. He's a normal intelligence, and he really can't, he can throw axes, but aside from emitting beams of power or anything, he can't do that. So, but yeah, so that is the Axe Assassin. And now that you've kind of read, you can kind of see that, his left hand arm and then obviously his belt behind his axe are adorned with these alien tech pieces that allows him to move through space. So, well, and time if they're damaged, but mostly just space. So, but yeah, anywho, so again, please stay tuned for tomorrow. I'll be releasing another superhero. I've got little over 100 of these heroes to do. So hopefully over the next 100 days, you'll get a new hero each day. So, and again, if you haven't had a chance to check out my first video on the Cosmic Cadet, please check that one out as well. So, but we'll catch you tomorrow.